Hello there everybody, my name is Dan, I am a professional game designer, and this is Guildrun. It's a roguelike auto-battler. If you took the hex grid auto combat from Teamfight tactics, and the enemies and relics of Slay the Spire, and then slam those together, this is what you would get. And I've got to say, it's fantastic. Over the course of a run, you build up a guild of heroes, each belonging to one or more classes which define their playstyle. You power them up as you go, and you battle your way through groups of enemies which get progressively stronger. You want to see how far you can get before they take you down. I have genuinely played nothing but Guildrun for the past week, and I've racked up over 30 hours of play in that time. It's out in Steam Early Access right now, you can request access for free, so I highly recommend you go and check it out. What is so great about Guildrun? First thing you'll notice is the art style. The card art for each of the characters is awesome. They've done a great job on the character designs here, and they gel really well with their gameplay abilities too. What makes this really addictive though, is building up your guild over the course of a run. You put together your guild of characters, each with a set of cool abilities. Buying duplicates of characters instead allows you to rank them up, from C grade at the start, all the way up to S. Jumping from C to B allows you to pick one of 3 abilities which are unique to that character. These radically change the way they play, sometimes even giving them an additional class to belong to. Getting to A and S rank instead allows you to pick one of several class abilities. These aren't character specific, instead they are available to any character of that class. You also buy items along the way to equip your guild, making them stronger. And on top of that, you get these relics, which apply effects to your whole guild at once. Your guild's abilities, items, and relics can all stack together on top of each other, combining to create really powerful effects, very similar to what you see in Slay the Spire. And that for me is the real draw of this game, and what makes it so much more enjoyable than something like Teamfight Tactics as an auto-battler. Is the fact that every run you're finding new synergies, you're building up strategies in your head that you want to try out, and you're chasing perfect combinations of characters, items and relics to create your ideal guild. It's just super fun, and because the game is PvE rather than PvP, it allows you to create these really overpowered interactions, since you're not going to be frustrating other players with them. The game's infinite too. Once you finish a run by killing the last boss, you go into infinite mode, where enemies just get harder and harder, but you're no longer able to purchase stuff, so you just have to survive on random rewards from events. You will eventually go down, but the stronger your guild is, the further you go. And when you do finally get taken out, the game puts your record on the global leaderboard and tells you exactly what percentage of other players at that difficulty level you beat. So it effectively has a built-in competitive element, which I think is super vital for a long-term player retention. Getting to infinite mode on a given difficulty unlocks the next one, which adds a specific modifier to make the game harder. Keep on doing this and eventually you unlock the Red Rift, which is the only difficulty I've not managed to complete yet because it is brutal. And yet, I keep throwing myself against it over and over again, trying to get a place on that leaderboard. Any place at all. I just want to be on there. And that is a sign of a game which is doing a great job of capturing and keeping your attention. Enough glazing, I am a game designer, and therefore I must look at the work of people much more talented and successful than myself and tell them what I think they should do next. So here's what I would want to do to keep making this game better and better. Priority number 1, put this thing on mobile. I want to play it on the train, I want to play it in bed, I want to play it on the loo. This game is ideal for mobile. So I'm sure they've already got that planned, but if they don't, they should. And don't you dare make it require an internet connection there. This is a PvE game, it shouldn't need it. You want players in your game as much as possible, don't be cutting them off every time they go under a bridge. Now, on the opposite end of things, I would be interested to see some PvP. I like that this is PvE focused, it means you can hop in and out mid-run, you can take as long as you like planning stuff out. It makes it both more strategic because you have time to make decisions, and more chill because it's just you versus the game playing at your own pace. As a side mode though, PvP could be cool. Keep all the events and things, just swap out the battles with player battles. And you could even keep it as a 2 losses and you're done system, like it is in the PvE mode, rather than adding in a player life bar like in TFT. Make sure that mode has ranked on release though. Do that and you've broadened your player base by a lot. Last but not least, more content. As fun as the game is, there are only so many combinations of heroes, items and relics, so eventually they will get stale. You could gradually add more and more variety drip by drip, chucking in a new hero or something every now and again to try and keep players' attention, but if they do get bored and go off to play something else, that isn't going to bring them back. So instead, I'd go for adding new content in big old chunks. Call it a new season, call it a major update, doesn't matter. Traditionally, you would just add this content to the existing stuff. But if your game is around long enough, this just ends up expanding, and you have to keep up with more and more obscure, overcomplicated stuff to tread new ground until you start scraping the bottom of the barrel, as many long-lived games tend to do. Instead, I think borrow another leaf out of the TFT book here, and every few months, do a complete refresh. Add some new characters, swap in some alternate versions of existing characters, chuck out a bunch of items and relics and swap in a load of new ones, and maybe even put in some temporary bonus mechanic for the season to spice things up. That way, you keep things fresh. You give players who lost interest a big reason to come back and try out all the new stuff, and your game doesn't just balloon up into a massive mess you need a PhD to understand. You don't need to chuck out everything each time either. If something is really working, then by all means, keep it in. But I think this method of update seems to keep things interesting for longer. And that's assuming they want long-term retention. If they go for a one-time purchase model like Slay the Spire, then it doesn't matter so much, and I'm just talking absolute waffle. And there you have it, folks. Guildrun. It's good, go play it, support devs that are making great games. It is more important now than ever. You should also support devs that are talking about games, mainly me. So, if you liked this video, please give it a like. If you know anybody who would, then share it with them. If you want to see more gaming videos from me, then subscribe and hit the little bell icon. And if you've got something to say, then chuck it in the comments. Let me know what kind of thing you'd like me to cover next, whether it's looking at up and coming new stuff like this, looking back on some classics to see how they hold up today, just more talking about Guildrun, or whatever else you want really. I've got no viewers, I've got no money, and I've got no integrity. So if I think there's demand for a video, I'm gonna make it, baby. Bye.